I'm joined by Giselle Crowell from First Citizens Federal Credit Union. Thanks so much for dropping by.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So my understanding is that you are a mortgage originator. Is that okay? Is that what your card says?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the official
let's
title.
get the officials out of the way.
Yes, it's officially a mortgage originator. But what I do is all home lending. So I work with people who own homes or potentially want to own homes and help them reach their financial goals.
Well, and you mentioned when we were talking before we started taping that you also do refinancing and financing of home improvements.
Right.
And it's like, I wouldn't think about that if I hear a mortgage originator, but like, duh, right? So, so about how much of your business in terms of percentages, if you know, is first-time home buyers or people who already have a mortgage and are doing something else?
Right. For myself, I focus on first-time home buyers.
Oh, okay.
I get involved in first-time home buyer programs and classes to help educate the first-time home buyers. So that's my little niche, and that's my love, is to help the people that never were able to get into a home, get into a home. But quite honestly, I probably spend just as much time with people that have already purchased, and whether they purchased at a higher interest rate or have now outgrown their home. There's not a lot of homes on the market to go to purchase right now. So people are staying in their homes and fixing it into their dream home because it's 80% there. They love the neighborhood. They love the schools that their children are in. They could use an extra bathroom or they could use an extra living area. So they take out a home improvement loan and are able to do that.
And that's the beginning of the end of their marriage, right? Isn't it?
Well, the important thing is to have a general contract. Don't ask the husband to do it or the wife. I think that would keep you married
They
longer.
say it's really hard to renovate a home while you're living there, or
Depending
even
on
add
how
on.
much you're doing, it can be horrible. Nose is plugged so the dust doesn't make you sneeze. And
Absolutely,
you're all good to go.
but that's an interesting point. What is it that what does that show? Love It or List It?
Yes.
It's kind of like the real life Love It or List It,
Right.
you know?
Because for whatever reason, you bought that home and loved it at one time.
Yep.
So in many cases, it's because you've outgrown it,
Yep.
or now you need to downsize.
That's
So
interesting.
downsizing is different. Of course, you're not going to do home improvements for downsizing. But if you're looking just to make it a little tweaked to get exactly what you're looking for, the home improvement loan tends to work very nicely.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me, what might a first-time home buyer be surprised to know?
Many first-time home buyers would be surprised to know that you don't always need to have 20% down or 10% down.
Really? I thought these days that it was much tougher to get credit.
Most people do think. So it depends on a lot of different things. It's not only the interest rate that you look at when you're looking to purchase a home, it's the program itself. For instance, we have a first-time home buyer program. It's the MHP1. It requires 3% down, no mortgage insurance. Generally, anytime you need anything, if you put less than 20% down, then you would need to have mortgage insurance. In this case, there's no mortgage insurance, and they only have to have 1.5% of their own money. So if families are able to gift them the other 1.5%, they're able to get into a home.
So now, is that a program, I mean, I just know nothing about this area. So is that like a state or a federal program that your bank is
It's a mortgage program
Okay.
that's through the state of Massachusetts.
Okay.
And you do have to be able to license and be able to offer the program. As a credit union, we look to do community service and look for community products. So this is perfect for us.
So is a credit union owned by the depositors or
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. As a bank is a for-profit organization.
Right.
A credit union is a non-profit organization
Okay.
owned by our members. So you hear us call our customers our members because without them, we're not anything.
Yep.
We are made up of our 8,000 members.
Now, what is the definition of a first-time home buyer? Because I remember, gosh, back when I was in my 20s buying a condo, And the definition was really odd. Like you can become a first-time home buyer even if you're not really.
Correct, yeah.
So-
in general, it's someone that has not owned a home for the past 3 years.
Okay.
But if it's a mother or a parent that's been displaced because of divorce, no matter what time frame has gone on, they're considered a first-time home buyer.
See, who knew that?
It doesn't have to be a mother. It could be a parent. You know, anyone that's out of their home,
Yeah.
you could purchase
Oh, isn't
as a
that
first-time home buyer.
That's interesting.
Yes, 'cause you
So,
didn't have a choice on that. If you're displaced, then you qualify still. But in most cases, if you haven't owned for 3 years, then you could still
so
be
that
considered.
that label is kind of, I don't want to say inaccurate, but it can definitely be, you know, someone can say, well,
Yes.
I've already owned a house for 20 years, but they could actually qualify.
Absolutely.
Who
So
knows?
it's important to check with your local organizations to see what's available to you. We also have Equity Builder Program funds through the Federal Home Loan Bank. That's grant money that we're able to award to first-time home buyers that qualify for it. You have to be under a certain income level. So you have to make enough to be able to afford the mortgage, but you're in a lower income level, so we're able to help. The grants this year are $11,000, and as long as the people stay in the home, in most cases, they don't have to ever pay that grant back.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. And with that MHP1 program that we were talking about, the grant can help to make up that rest of that 3%. So they really could look at putting only a 1.5% out of their pocket and use the grant money for the difference, and the grant money can help pay closing costs. It's phenomenal.
I love the way your eyes are phenomenal. No,
I love doing
your
this. You
passion
can
comes
tell.
across.
That's what I love to
How did
to
you
do.
get into this?
Well, I was in banking for many years in the branches and started with lending. And the more that I did, I realized I could probably go into any aspect of banking that I wanted to, and decided that this is where I wanted to be. It really makes a difference in people's lives. And I think ultimately that's the most important thing.
So now I understand that First Citizens has a mortgage office in Plymouth at
Right
Water
on
Street. Did you say?
Yeah, 225, the old Ocean Spray building.
Oh,
Everyone knows the
okay,
old Ocean
yeah.
Spray
That's
building.
all. That's all you have to say.
Yes. When I first came to Plymouth, I'd explain, and then I learned, oh, I can tell them exactly. And I know exactly. Yeah.
So do you go over to East Bay Grill and Anna's
Oh,
after?
as much as I
you know
can.
what? It's pretty nice outside.
there,
I
we
think
can
you
do
know.
everything.
I only have 3 more interviews.
True. We're only a hop, skip, and a jump.
Thanks so much for coming by. It was really great to meet
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.